how are you doing? I'm back here with you to continue with my pros and cons video. So now I want to talk with you about cons of staying in China and downsides of China for foreigners. So let's start. The first downside is, of course, pollution. China is a big industrial country and it's still developing. So there are a lot of factories who polluting the Chinese air. The first contribution to the pollution is factory contribution. The second is heating systems. They are very undeveloped and they use wet coal, I think raw coal, to heat their houses, especially in the north of China. The south of China is better because they don't have heating systems. So the second contributor is heating systems. And also the car pollution, car emittance. So all of this makes the situation very bad. The air is the worst in the world. If you have some respiratory problems, don't come to China. Another downside in China is racism. It's pretty big here and it also has two sides. The first and the good side of racism is that the foreigner in China can make pretty good money, especially if he or she is a native English speaker. They can make a lot just teaching English. But the other side is racism. If you're a foreigner, you need to make extra efforts to be considered serious, you know. If you have a good degree, if you're professional in something, for instance, it's pretty common to hire a foreigner to be to act as a international investor in a big corporate event. This foreigner is coming looking good, having no idea about the company, and this foreigner just makes a speech on the stage about something connected to the company which he or she rehearsed and memorized before. That's ridiculous. So actually there are not so many international representatives, international investors, real people who do things in China. I'm not talking about business, but I'm talking about career in companies in China. To be hired as a specialist in China, I think it's pretty rare, and I hope the situation will change, but so far we are only hired as a face here, and this is pretty racist, I think. The third downside is cold winters in the south of China. So I want to explain here. For Russian people, I used to have heating systems at homes in winter. So when we at home, I used to feeling relaxed. We used to feeling warm. We can wear little clothes inside our houses. But in China, the temperature inside and outside is the same in winter. So it's very stressful for us to survive these winters without heating. So if you have 0 degree outside, you will have around 0 degree inside. So yeah, that's harsh for me. The fourth con, people can behave very strange. How to explain? They spit on the streets with this awful sound like this. They spit on the street everywhere. they can, when they eat, they do these sounds. I push you sometimes in a public transportation. They act, many of them act like they don't care about others. They can talk very loud. They can almost scream in public places with each other because I guess they don't care about how it feels to hear this scream. They can talk very loudly by phones. It's very limited personal space that they feel. They don't have a personal space at all, especially in a swimming pool. It's horrifying me when I swim and that guy is swimming very fast and he's swimming right to me, and he doesn't bother to change his trajectory a little bit. So the next downside is it's especially hard to survive in China without knowing Chinese. So my suggestion will be to learn some Chinese before coming, at least basic stuff to communicate with taxi drivers, with waiters, with delivery guys, because nobody knows English here. Maybe in Shanghai it's the best situation, it's the best city for foreigner convenience, but other cities, no, forget it. Another downside is Chinese working attitude and working mentality. So China is a communist country and it's even more communist than Russia. So what I mean if you work for a company, the company interests are at the first place and interests of workers are at the last place. So if it's necessary, you will be asked to work overtime, you will be asked to do your work at home instead of having a rest. No, nobody cares. Also, it's normal for Chinese to work not 40 hours per week, but 45 hours per week. Guys are ready to work overtime, but they still don't do their work properly. They just present at work, they do just the minimum of what's asked. Maybe it's because that in China the quantity is valued better than quality. That's their way to do, but they do good. The economy is great. So it's just my view of downsides of China. For Chinese people, I think everything is cool and great. The seventh con of being in China is the visa situation for foreigners is becoming harder and harder. Every time I only hear about some restrictions for visas. So before you could come here to work without having any bachelor degree, anything, just having your perfect English. But now you need to have bachelor degree. You need to be native speaker to teach English, and I understand it. But for some guys, there's such a big demand in English teachers, so they also accept non-native speakers as teachers, but most of them are working illegally. So that's strange. They have such a big demand, but they don't care for safety of their teachers. The eighth con of China is it's a very hard country for creative people. You constantly told that the quality of your performance is not important, and the only thing that's important is your look. You are influenced by that. You are affected by that in not a good way. So some of guys just stopped developing their craft because they don't see any need to be better. They have good portfolios, very great pictures, great outfits, but that's it. they and it's very simple. It's very easy to stop developing as a musician and as an artistic person here in China. So next con of China is many people. So if you are a lonely loner who doesn't like to have this crowd around you, especially the crowd that doesn't care about personal space, China is not for you, because you can get a panic attack here in metro in a rush hour, or even not in a rush hour, just in a regular hour, when you see so many people. That's hard. Sometimes I like the energy of people. I like it, but it's hard even for me in public places, in a public transportation. Sometimes I get freaked out. 10th con of China is the absence of justice here. If you are a foreigner and any type of disagreement with Chinese person, you lost. It doesn't matter how much you paid to your attorney, it just doesn't matter. Because I have a friend who spent half a year in jail, and he wasn't able to do anything about it. And he told me that he met many people in Chinese jail, many foreigners who were just accidentally accused. So be aware of it, come and have fun, be safe. I hope you enjoyed my video. If yes, thumbs up. Write a comment, ask me questions. If you want more videos like that, I will for sure do for you. Subscribe. Here it will be the newest video. Here it will be the most appropriate video for you. Down I will leave the video that I want you to watch. Also, please subscribe. Do me a favor. I miss my friends in America, in Oklahoma. Love you, love you, love you. Bye bye. See you. Hi.
Where are you from?
Russia. I'm from Russia. Olosy.
Olosy. Wow.
Yeah.
What Olosy? What?
White Russia.